Man, nothing will neuter your potential in life the way that overthinking will. I got to see a tragic example of this live in person at UFC 327 this past weekend. When I heard my favorite fighter, Jiri Prochazka, was coming to town, I knew I had to get tickets. Like, I love that guy. I've been watching that guy's whole UFC career. Like, that's our Czech samurai. You know what I mean? That's like one of the true pure souls in combat sports right now. Just a guy who's like a real martial artist, a passionate man, someone who's tapped into his spiritual side, and he aligns his chakras and he lets the energy flow through him to win him fights. I think one of the most prominent examples of this was when he fought Khalil Roundtree last October. And that fight wasn't all, rainbows and unicorns, man. It wasn't all frolicking through flower fields. He had a tough first 2 rounds against Khalil. And for good reason. I mean, Khalil's an amazing fighter. Super technical, super powerful. But I think Jiri was a little overly concerned about that power and that speed for those first 2 rounds or so. I was watching him, and I could see Jiri just really tentative and kind of scared to commit, not wanting to make a big mistake. And so he seems to be a little bit trapped. And that whole time, Khalil is kind of piecing him up, and he's throwing shots at him, and Yuri's getting caught, and he's kind of shaking his head, and he's getting frustrated. And I'm like, oh no, like Khalil's just too clean, he's too technical, he's kind of figured out the antidote to Yuri's chaotic style. And that happens continually for the first round, most of the second, and then it's really when Jiri comes out in the third. I guess he went back to that stool, man, and he had some kind of a reawakening where it seems like he realized he was getting caught in the moment, overly cautious, overthinking. And he completely just has a turnaround from the time he sits down in that stool to the time he comes out for the bell of the third round. And as soon as that third round starts, he is walking Khalil down. Just no more thinking, no more getting tentative, no more getting trapped or stuck. Just forward pressure, forward momentum. And you can see on Khalil's face, he's kind of shocked. Like he just wasn't ready for this situation, this outcome. He thought he had this one in the bag. And all of a sudden, Yuri's in front of him like a madman, just walking him down, throwing shots at him, elbows, mixing it up. Khalil's throwing elbows back, and Yuri's just taking them and throwing his own elbow. Just completely entered the flow state. And he continues to do that until he throws one and knocks Khalil out, man. I remember feeling bad for Khalil in that moment. He looked like he didn't know what hit him. He's on the floor just hyperventilating in pain. And like he just got the Jiri Prochazka experience, That was one of the sweetest moments I've seen in a long time. Something with Yuri's fights almost feels like a spiritual experience. It's like we saw this man go out there and get baptized by the effort he was putting in. I remember after the fight, he's walking out of the arena and he's just saying to himself, "It was necessary. It was necessary.
It was necessary. It was necessary."
Like he's telling himself, he's not even telling the cameras, he's not telling anybody, he's telling himself. He's coming to the conclusion in English for some reason as a Czech guy that it was necessary. This had to happen. He had to go through this struggle to get out of his head and into his body and flow and achieve this moment, this greatness. That was incredible, man. That was something to behold. So of course, out of that fight, they scheduled him for the vacant title shot against Carlos Ulberg. And when they scheduled it, I was like, sweet, this is a good fight, winnable fight for Jiri. Carlos is a nice, accurate counter striker, but I think Yuri's going to be a little too much for him. When Jiri enters that flow state, there's no stopping him. So of course, I got to get tickets. I got to see it in person. I'm there. I'm in the arena. It's a good night in there. A good night of fights beside Johnny Walker and Dominic Reyes. But otherwise, the energy's buzzing. And there's nothing like when the main event starts, man. Because it's like, no matter what good fights he had before that, people know what they came to see at the end of the day. As soon as you start hearing that walkout music and the fighters, Jiri and Carlos are making their walkouts, it's like the energy just shifts. And people are excited, and you can feel it in the air, and it's buzzing. Yuri's got his whatever European track he's got going on, and he comes out and he's just soaking in the moment. And he's aligning his chakras right in the middle of the arena, and I'm like, hell yeah! Like, this is our moment. This is gonna be amazing. And it doesn't start out too bad. They get in there for the first 2 minutes or so. They're exchanging a few leg kicks. They're going back and forth a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of flowing with each other. And then all of a sudden, about 2 minutes in, Carlos, he makes a big step back and just destroys his knee. And there was a part of me that I'm nervous, sitting watching, and I'm trying to align my chakras, and I'm sending Jiri my energy. I'm like, here, brother, take my energy, man. You need this right now. You can go knock this guy out. I want to see you do it. Take my energy. And then I see Carlos, and he's moving all weird, and I'm like, dude, I think he just popped his knee. Like, I think he just tore his ACL right in the middle of the fight. This is insane. I guess I sent my energy, and it's already paid off, man. This is a slam dunk for Jiri. Like, we're about to see him just style on this guy and get a highlight reel KO. And for a second, it looks like that. Yuri's kicking his legs out, and Carlos is just stumbling backward, and it looks like he's just like a fish out of water. Like, he's flopping around the arena. What is he going to do, To the point where I almost started to feel bad for him. But then the issue is that Jiri clearly started to feel bad for him as well. And so after a few of those, Jiri starts I think he realizes what happened. And you can see it in his face immediately. He's going just panicking, just stressed out. He didn't want to win like this. He follows the samurai code, man. He wanted an honorable win. He wanted a fair fight, which I get it and I respect it. But I think he let the moment throw him off far too much. And you could see from then on, he was stuck in his head. And he was thinking about every move and every strike he threw. He would kind of come forward and then change his mind, and then he would point down, and then Carlos would come at him, and it's like he couldn't flow anymore. He was taken out of his body, and he was trapped in his head. And from then on, every exchange, you could tell he's just stressed out over it, and he feels uncomfortable with the situation, and he's kind of crashing out. And on the opposite side, Carlos is keeping his cool. Carlos is just keeping as relaxed as possible, given the situation, poker face on. He's backing up against the cage. He's not making any crazy big movements. He's not trying to push forward. He knows his game, and he knows he can adapt to the situation. He's kind of, all respect to him. I mean, he kept that championship mindset, and that you just got to make it happen. Well, Yuri's completely allowing the moment to throw him off, and he's letting his emotions take control. He's getting stressed out, and he's stuck. He's trapped in his own thought. And then all of a sudden, man, Jiri comes forward at him a little bit, and he's still a bit tentative, and he's just kind of bobbing up and down, and he's lunging in, and he comes in, and Carlos catches him with a clean check left hook, his strike. Yuri's hands are nowhere to be found. His hand is way down by his side. Jiri gets caught clean, and he gets knocked out, man. He gets slumped, hammer-fisted. The night is over. That's all she wrote. Joe Rogan came out afterward in the post-fight interview with Jiri, and he kind of fed him the word mercy. You showed him mercy. And Jiri agreed with it in the moment, but I think he was fed that word. I really think the proper term would probably be hesitation. I think Jiri hesitated, and he got stuck in his head, and he got stuck overthinking, and he allowed it to completely take him out of his flow state, take him out of his body, put him into his head. And that's just a recipe for disaster in anything you're doing, man. Like I said in the beginning, nothing will just neuter your potential like overthinking will. Because the body knows what you need to be doing. Your subconscious knows what you need to be doing. it can just enter that flow state. If you let the energy flow through you and move forward and just take action and go, 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 your instincts are going to take the wheel. You're going to be making the right moves more often than not. But the mind lies. The mind will keep you, spinning the loops. The mind will get you stuck. If you allow the mind to take control of your situation, it's going to lead you astray. It's going to have you overthinking. It's going to have you making the wrong moves. It's going to have you stuck in your head and out of your body. And we saw a tragic example of that on Saturday night, man. Tough pill to swallow, but a lesson learned. I'd have to hope. Oh well, we'll get up next time. Thank you all.